Bună dimineața! Cu mai puțin de o săptămână înainte de începerea summitului NATO de la Washington, invitatul interviurilor one-to-one este locțuitorul comandamentului multinațional de divizie sud-est al NATO, cel mai înalt reprezentant militar al Franței în România, generalul Loïc Girard. General Girard, welcome to Free Europe, Romania.
Thank you very much, Anka, to invite me. It's a pleasure for me to be here and to answer as far as possible to the numerous questions I think you have for me.
Thank you. You are the first French general in Romania in more than 100 years after since General Berthelot. Do you still have any surprises being here in Romania?
I arrived right now 10 months ago, but I was perfectly aware at that time that I was the first French general to come in Romania assigned permanently after more than 100 years under the very famous General Berthelot. So I'm very proud of it. And if I may, I can try to continue his heritage, and it will be an honor for me to do it. And after 10 months in Romania, to answer directly to your question, I'm not surprised because, as you know, we are very busy here in Romania in a kind of military issues, the way we are working on a day-to-day basis, and also to prepare the future. Maybe let me other occasion maybe to present the jobs I'm...
Right. So what are you doing here?
Yes, what I'm doing here. We can go after in further details if you want, but just I'm double-headed in Romania first. My first job is to be the deputy commander of the multinational division Southeast in Bucharest, which is a big NATO headquarters in Bucharest, since nearly 9 years this year. And my second job is also to be what we call in the NATO language senior national representative, so the French responsible for all the French troops in Romania, whatever they are, ground troops, air force, anywhere elsewhere. So it's a big double responsibility, but quite logical because, as you know, France is in Romania under NATO umbrella. And there is a kind of
leading the battle group, the NATO battle group in Romania.
And is leading also the NATO battle group, as you mentioned, in Romania. So it's quite logical to have that two jobs together.
As I said before, there will be an important NATO summit next week in Washington, and the main topic on the agenda is deterrence and defense. What are the main decisions that you are expecting regarding the defense measures for this part of NATO, of Europe, of course, and especially for Romania?
I'm not sure to have a clear vision of what will be all the decisions which will be taken at the political level, because it's not a military summit, it's a political summit. So with a lot of discussion, previous discussion as usual in that type of a summit, but also at least a lot of decisions. What I am sure of is the trend. The trend today is first to have the same strong support for Ukraine, and second, to continue to build the big project NATO have in the eastern flank in general, and in Romania in particular. And in Romania specifically, to give you just one example, the big aim of my mission here is to prepare the future deployment of a full brigade next year, a brigade which will be deployed in a temporary way, but for maybe 1 month. And what is a brigade? It's about 4,000 troops and about also 1,000 vehicles. So it's not something easy. We have a lot of work because from the deployment phase, the logistical phase, but also the training phase, once arrived in Romania, it's important, and it's a day-to-day basis.
It means more than double.
Yes.
And there will be also more French troops?
Yes, because it was a commitment all what we call the framework nations took during the Madrid summit in 2022 to increase the level of troop permanently or temporarily up to the brigade level I just mentioned. So for France, with the framework nation, it means that the leader country in charge to gather all the contributing nations, it will be our main role under NATO flag to deploy all the multinational troops not only France at that time, but also Belgium, Luxembourg and Spanish. We are working hard to prepare that deployment next spring, in more or less 1 year right now, and to identify all the localizations, to identify the way to transport them, airport, railway, seaport, coming from Greece, for example, etc. To deploy them inside Romania, to put them in some localization, and at least to train them with all the troops in Romania, not only NATO troops, but also national troops, Romanian troops, which will be, I think, very important for us, and it's part of our main objective next year.
And the main goal of this mission is?
The main goal of this mission is what you remind during the first objective of the Washington summit, our big mission here to deter, because currently we have, I can make a kind of synthesis of our main missions here. The first one is to deter permanently in a long-term basis, and the second one currently is to train, to be able to deter.
There were some problems before because Romania has some problems with infrastructures, with bridges. We filmed to Voila near Cincu. The images are from Cincu. You are waiting for a bridge that the Romanian authorities to build a bridge, and also roads or maybe better railways. What are the consequences that we don't have this infrastructure at this moment?
I see first that you are well informed about all the issues around Cincu. So you're right, there is a bridge which has to be rebuilt near Voila, and the reason that bridge has to be rebuilt is because the military convoys have to make a kind of big tour, 2.5 hours more than usual, because there is no bridge or no bridge anymore at that specific localization under the Voila river. So yeah, it's part of the challenges we have in Romania, but as we can have that type of challenges everywhere. So specifically to Romania and specifically to Cincu, we have this example of the Voila Bridge, but in all other countries where you are increasing the number of troops, for sure you have to face some new issues regarding the transportation issue, logistical issues, movement, etc. I have another example, and it's the Voila Bridge is more or less a difficulty today, and we have also positive elements. For example, with the Brașov airport, we have a close coordination right now. It's very recent with the Romanian authorities in the Brașov airport, and we are right now during the last takeover of the battle group in Cincu, able to use this airport to remove troops during May and June, just quite recently. It's finished last week, this movement. So it's also a big issue, but with also a lot of positive elements and new elements, and we are working hard for that.
Romania is asking for more troops and for more military capabilities here on national territory from NATO. Do you think that it's justified, this request?
This request is perfectly justified from my point of view, because it's not only Romania, but we are here on the eastern flank, and due to the situation on the other side of the border, the war, to say it quickly, for sure there are a lot of troops now in the eastern flank, and much more than previously. And after all the NATO summits for years now, not only for Madrid summit in 2022, but previously for the first invasion in 2014 at the very beginning, because for example, the headquarters I belong to, the multinational division Southeast headquarters in Bucharest, has been recreated in Bucharest after the invasion of 2014. So the very beginning is 2014, and now we are we are reaching a great number of troops, not only in Romania but in all the eastern flanks. Sorry.
Poland and the Baltic states want to build a new defense infrastructure on the borders with Russia, and they are asking more money from European Union. We need this kind of new infrastructure.
But I'm sure it's the case in Romania right here, because I have a lot of discussion, very positive, with Romanian authorities, military, civilian, etc. And I know that Romania is also using European funds, for example, to improve its infrastructure network. So it's a long-term process. You cannot rebuild roads, railway, and so on in a few weeks or in a few months. It needs years, for sure. It's a very long process.
Do we still have time?
I hope I'm here for that, because when we are talking about the deterrence mission, it's to exchange a military mission on the ground against time.
Here at one-to-one interviews, the Chief of Staff of the Romanian Army, General Gheorghiță Vlad, said in February that the Romanian Army needs a better laws, updated laws, and also ammunition, NATO ammunition for the Romanian soldiers. Do you think that he's right when he's asking to the Romanian politicians something like that?
I think, to be honest, I'm not here to say if a Romanian general is saying something good or wrong. It's definitely not my role here. But as a military, as an officer, I think the role of an officer, and for my part a French officer, is to talk to his civilian authority and to tell the truth and to ask, if needed, more equipments, more troops, more material to improve the level of the armed forces. So it's the role of all the officers, all the commanding officer at all, and specifically the role of the commanding officer linked directly with the politicians, to ask them the need, because the defense of a country is something fundamental for the life itself of the country. So it's our role as military to ask that type of question to our politicians.
Okay, the second topic for the NATO summit is Ukraine. The Secretary General of NATO, Jens Stoltenberg, said last week that the most urgent problem now is Ukraine. And allies might agree for NATO to take the lead of the coordination and provision for security assistance and training for Ukraine. For the moment, US is leading this kind of mission, this operation. Why is this transfer from United States to NATO so important?
Maybe to ask a little bit differently to your question regarding the beginning of your sentence or your question, I think there is for sure a great involvement of the US, no doubt on this, but there are a lot of national and European initiatives to train Ukrainian troops, and from the beginning of the war. So right now, when we are talking today during this interview, if I take the example of France, we are training Ukrainian in France from the beginning. Now we are training some Ukrainian troops also in Poland, etc. And I know that there are a lot of European countries involved in that type of collective training in the eastern flank, or
including Romania.
Yes, inside Romania also, in the eastern flank or in their own country. So there is a kind of right now a global or a multiplicity of initiatives to help Ukraine also in that type of mission.
Okay. At the last year NATO summit in Vilnius, it was decided a number that the member states should make several important steps. There are still some steps that they are not completed, implemented for the moment. For example, Romania and Bulgaria, they had to form a NATO regional command for special forces operation. Another example is that we should build some new capacities.
I don't know if the decisions are not to be implemented, as you said, but it's like the roads, the bridge, and so on, the infrastructure. At least every time you have that kind of project to build something for the future and not something quick, fast, but a very strong capacity, it needs time, it needs money, it needs a kind of will also at all the levels. So what I can witness, because I arrived, as you know, 10 months ago in Romania, in 10 months I can confess that there are a lot of projects I have seen improving, progressing, etc. If I take the example of Shinku, for example, which is, as you know, the main base of the the battle group here in Romania. From the very beginning, I came in late August, and right now it's completely different. Now it's a little town, a little military. Yes, yeah. You have a lot of images. It's quite very impressive also. But yeah, it's a little town right now. It was not the case. And at the beginning, in 2022, when the VGTF was deployed at that time, at the end of February, it was what we call cherry hill. It was just a hill with a cherry tree outside. And now it's I'm really impressed in 10 months what we succeeded, not only the battle group, not only France, but also the troop contributing nation and also Romania, because we are working every day in close coordination with Romanian military authorities, Romanian civilian authorities, local authorities. So it's very impressive. So it's never fast enough, it's never well enough for sure, even for the military we are, but we made a lot of progress.
General Girard, you have a lot of military experience, more than 20 years, I think. Can NATO defeat Russia if Putin decides to attack a NATO country? What do you think?
First, I joined the military career 30 years ago. Just so, as you said, after 30 years in the military career, I have a lot and various military experiences, a lot of operations abroad, overseas. So the question right now, from my point of view, at the tactical level, because I'm not, I'm a general working in Romania. At the tactical level, our main mission, as you know, is to deter. And when I see the dynamism, the level of activities, the number of troops, equipments right now, and what we plan to deploy next year, the increasing level of infrastructure, all the movement, because we are taking of troops on the ground, but you have also planes, you have also cybersecurity, you have also space. So there are a lot of equipments, troop material. So the deterrence mission is a global mission with a lot of assets. So to be honest, I cannot answer you if there is a war who will be the winner. But for sure, what I can say, it's the deterrence mission right now with the level of troops is, from my perspective, very intense and products a lot of positive effects from the allied part, for sure.
And my last question is not related to your current position, but I hope you can answer to me. I suppose you are knowing very well the defense capabilities of Romania, because it's part of NATO, of course. Do you think that Romania could defend itself against air attacks, if it's necessary, without one of his Patriot system?
Regarding the Patriot system, but I can give you a kind of maybe global answer, because I'm not sure the question is for Romania to defend itself alone. We are all belonging to a collective defense system, which is NATO. There are a lot of troops right now in Romania. We plan to send more troops in the future, even if it's for a temporary way. It is a plan to send that type of troops if there is any kind of issue at that time, later on, who knows. So it's a collective effort. For sure, at the end, it will be the addition of all the national efforts. And one more time, after 10 months in Romania, I can assess that there are a lot of improvements, and for sure the part of the information I'm following coming from the media, and I saw in the media not every day or every week, but quite currently, that Romanian is buying a lot of equipments, tanks, planes, Patriots, and so on. So I think it's a big and huge effort for Romania to increase its armed forces in number of and quality, number of troop equipments and level of quality and training, etc. So first, I can assess that there are a lot of things like this, and second, as I said, we are all linked by a collective defense system, and that's why me, as French general, but with a NATO flag on my uniform, I'm working hard here in Romania.
General Girard, thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you very much, Ankara. It will be a pleasure, and maybe another time here in Ginkgo or elsewhere. Thank you very much.
Thank you.